Hello and welcome to July 14th, where we're reading Second Chronicles 21 through 24. Now, today's reading starts with Jehoram and goes through Joash, or at least part of Joash anyway. This is the part of Judah's kingship that is directly related to Ahab, being his, son-in-law, grandson, and great-grandson by extension. These are people who are very much directly affected by Ahab and his wife Jezebel, which means that they're not very great. And obviously, there are some problems that come with that. This is not a great period of time for Israel's faith, or rather for Judah's faith, or for both of them, really. It was not very good for either one of them. And Ahab, unfortunately, has some effect on the kings of Judah. Now, if you get into Second Chronicles chapter 21, you talk about Jehoram. Jehoram is not great. He just follows after Ahab. He ends up getting some people rebelling against him. He loses some territory. God condemns him, sends him a letter, and ultimately Jehoram dies due to a horrible disease and his intestines rot away. That doesn't sound very nice. Well, that's what God does to him because he's a terrible, evil person. In chapter 22, you have Ahaziah take the throne. He steps up and he goes ahead and takes over the throne instead of Jehoram. Now, Ahaziah is also bad. He's ultimately killed later on. He goes up to meet with the northern king right when Jehu's coming in to clear out the northern kingdom and clear out all of Ahab's family. And so Ahaziah gets killed by Jehu, good riddance, and his mother, Athaliah, takes the throne. Now, Athaliah is in chapter 23, and she's not very great. She tries to kill all of the Judean king's family to take over the kingship for herself. She is the only queen in Judah, and really in Israel or Judah. She's the queen with no king, and it doesn't actually go well for these people. Athaliah ends up getting killed, and later in chapter 23, one of the children, Joash, he is preserved through her persecutions and her murdering of her family, and instead he gets taken out. He gets anointed king when he's 6 or 7, I believe. It's very young, and he gets put in charge. Athaliah is executed. Good riddance. Ahab's family is now gone, and Joash takes the throne. Now, of course, when you get to chapter 24, you have the first part of Joash, and well, actually, you have all of Joash covered right there. Joash does some good in the first part of it while he has good advice and good advisors, but ultimately, when those good advisors die off, he starts taking very bad advice and turns into a horrible, evil person. Unfortunately, Ahab's great-grandson all the way through, or Ahab's grandson, it's a terrible fate for Israel. Unfortunate for Judah, but Joash, he was good. He ends terribly. Don't be like Joash. Tomorrow, we'll go ahead and talk about some more kings of Judah. Thankfully, not Ahab's descendants. They're 2 Chronicles 25 through 27. So we'll see you tomorrow.